And we walk to her, the center of the hall. With the sunlight coming in from the ceiling, the girl is sleeping amongst the rubble. Her eyes will never open again. Looking closely, the girl is not white at all. She has red all over her, and she looks nothing like she did before. It's not your fault. You know, right? We couldn't have saved her. Although it would have been awesome to just have seen them team up with Berserker and Eliasfiel. I would have liked to have seen how they would, them just fight Castor together. I kind of imagine that would be what it would be like if this scene didn't happen, like if Gilgamesh never came and tried to, came and killed Eliasfiel. Just kind of sucks it ended up that way, because it would have been so fucking cool just to see them team up together. But then, now that I think about it, if they did, they would eventually have had to kill each other, and that wouldn't have ended so well. Although, actually no, because they would have had Saber. So if they had Saber, then they would have been good. Saber would have kicked their asses. Well, Saber would have stood a fighting chance at least. I know. I've been taught that there are people I can save and people I cannot save. I know it'll put my own life in danger if I try to do something beyond my capabilities. But still, I still wanted to save her. I don't want a child dying in front of me. Especially having their hearts ripped out, Jesus Christ. I don't want anyone dying in front of me. It's more painful and scary than anything else not to be able to save someone for asking for help. There's no way I can apologize, and I don't know her well enough to apologize to her. This girl is unrelated to Miyashiro. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. I know that without having to be told. So why? Oh. Why are these eyes crying? Why? Tosaka? Why? You should have known we'd be killed if we appeared in front of him. So why did you try to save Eliasfiel? No matter what the results may be, she was our enemy. So how can you go so far for her sake? Is it an inquiry? Tosaka's eyes are serious. I have no reason. I stopped him because I just wanted to save her. There's no other way to explain it. After glaring at me. I see. I thought you were abnormal before, but I'm sure now. Shiro, your way of life is really distorted. She tries to open a lid that I've kept closed for so long. Distorted? That's right. It's wrong to live thinking that others are more important than you. Look, I'm not talking about the common opinion that we save others so that we can be loved. With such hypocrisy aside, we have to put ourselves first. Well, there are people with others as their priority. But you're something special that you can't put on the scale. It's like the scale itself. So why do you try to destroy that scale to save someone you don't even know? Yes, if you truly were a person who was merely alive, such self-denial would be fine. But you can't do that. You can't pretend you're not living for yourself when you have such a strong sense of personal conviction and self-awareness. If you continue something like this, you'll eventually break down. No way. I can't break down. I'm doing this so that I won't break down. I'm trying to save people that I cannot save so that I can hold my head high. No, you're broken already. So tell me, I don't know what happened to you 10 years ago, so that must be why you're so screwed up. Tosaka looks like she's crying. Why does she have to make a face like that? It's as if she knows I'll have a thankless life, so she's trying to stop me. You were like this at school. You were so calm in front of all those bodies. Even I mistook them for corpses, but you knew right away that they were alive. I always thought that it was strange. You never had proper training as a magus, but you got calm every time you got into a fight to the death. You would get enraged by seeing corpses, but you didn't feel any shock or disgust. It's probably because corpses are something you got used to seeing. You saw something gruesome 10 years ago, right? I got used to seeing them? Well, it's true that it wasn't my first time seeing a corpse. The students at school, Ryder, who got her neck twisted off, and even this girl sleeping in front of me now. I think they've died a natural death compared to that time. But she's wrong. The fire 10 years ago saved Miyashiro. That cannot be the main reason why Tosca is criticizing me now. That's wrong, Tosca. I was saved. That's all. Saved? So you were saved from the fire 10 years ago? And that was by Emiya Kiritsugu? Well, you made that connection rather quickly. Yes, but that's it. That isn't the reason for anything. My heart aches when I answer. My body is telling me that it's a lie. Then was there something else? Something you're always regretting, or something Emiya Kiritsugu took away from you as compensation for saving you? There's no such thing. Kiritsugu merely saved me. And you talk about taking something from me, but at that time, I had nothing to give. I saw many corpses. I died at that time and was reborn. I do not have any regrets. My eyes lost hatred there. My hands lost anger there. My legs lost hope there. Myself lost itself there. So why? Why do I have this self-consciousness that Tosca speaks of? I have accepted death. I knew I was going to die. Even if my body was saved in that situation, there's no way my mind could have been saved as well. At that time, I was empty, and I just admired something sacred. Oh, that's right. I remember now. No, I didn't even put it into my memory. So I didn't realize until now that it's what really saved me. Shiro, did he make you establish a contract or something? No, he didn't take anything away. I only received. A world like hell. In the place where everyone but me died, I was saved. Nobody saved me, and I wasn't able to save anybody. And at the very end, he granted me something that I thought was a miracle. I remember. Those eyes that looked down at me and the voice pleading for me to live. At that time, I thought not about the fact that I was saved, but the fact that someone's there to save me. The fact itself is... It's so wonderful, and it's such a miraculous thing. That's why I admired it. I had nothing, and there was nothing remaining in me. I admired the first thing that came into my sight. So That's the only thing I had. That's the only emotion I felt after I was saved. I was happy. I cried. And that's all I could think about. So, that's all the emotion I could create. Yeah. You're probably right. It's distorted for me to put priority on others before me. There is something seriously wrong with the procedure. But I was the only one who got saved. I thought about it at that time. That if such a thing happened again, I would save everyone in place of those I could not save then. I'm telling you, that's crazy! Look, if you were saved, take care of yourself. I'm sorry for the people who got killed, but it's only by chance that you were saved. Then you should take full advantage of your good fortune. You suffered such a hell, so it'll be a waste if you don't have fun. Tosca is seriously angry. Yeah, that makes me happy. I finally realized now because Tosca is that kind of person. The question I've been wondering about all by myself. I wanted to be a superhero, and I always have tried to help others. I knew there was something wrong with the method, but I did not understand what. But it's so clear now. It's because of this person that's seriously angry for my sake. What? You still don't understand after I've told you this much? You really make me mad. If you're really that stupid, I'll break my alliance. I know. I told you you're right, didn't I? Then... But I can't listen to your warning. I realize there's something wrong with me, but it's alright. Because there's no way that wanting to help people can be a mistake. So, I answer her with as much gratitude as I can possibly put in. Jeez. I can't say anything if you make a face like that. Maybe it got awkward as Tosca turns and walks away. And then... Well, I guess it can't be helped. I guess I'll do something about it. She sighs as she says this. What are you going to do about it, Tosca? Not really too much you can do. The sun is setting. We return to the hall when the sky turns red. The corpse of the girl is not on the mountain of rubble. We just buried her in the courtyard. I don't know if it's normal for servants, but the black giant turned into sand, but we put the sand in the same coffin as the girl. Well, do you have any ideas on what to do now? I'm still thinking. The situation just got worse. I can't think unless I get this sorted out. Yeah, the strongest enemy, Iliasfeel and Berserker, are gone, but an unknown foe came out in their place. Yeah, it's kind of like Gilgamesh this time took care of Berserker and Iliasfeel, while last time he just came out of nowhere and took care of Castor. I don't know, I think in all honesty I would have preferred him this time to have taken care of Castor as opposed to Berserker, because Castor's like the biggest threat right now. And, you know, not to mention, if, you know, Castor was taken care of, Saber, we'd have Saber back. And then Berserker and Iliasfeel wouldn't be as much of a problem. There should only be 7 servants, but he makes 8, right? He's not a servant that should exist. How did Shinji make a contract with such a guy? An 8th servant, huh? I don't think we can treat that man as a servant. He is a heroic spirit that dominates all others. He has a seemingly infinite supply of noble phantasms, and he is a devil without any human emotion. I mean, I can easily see how Shinji would make a contract with somebody like that. They're pretty similar. Gilgamesh. That's the hero appearing in a myth of ancient Mesopotamia, right? Yeah, he's half human, half god. He's the king of Uruk and the seeker of immortality. He's said to be a tyrant that obtained everything in this world, but I didn't think he was that crazy. He defeated Berserker easily, so he might be stronger than Saber even if she has her true powers released. Tosca doesn't sound as sharp. It doesn't seem like it's because there's a new enemy. What's wrong? You sound like you want to say something. Well, he was certainly strong. He has so many noble phantasms, so he's powerful, right? But I'm wondering how it really is. I felt there wasn't much difference between him and Berserker. Well, there wouldn't have been if he wasn't cheating and just fucking firing off projectiles at him. Fight me like a man, face to face. If he would have fought Berserker maybe like head on, I think they would have been on equal footing. But the fact that he just, you know, was standing back firing his fucking projectiles at Berserker, he sort of had the upper hand. She ponders. Huh? Could it be that Tosca doesn't know about his powers? Yeah. No, he himself is about as strong as Saber or Berserker, if not weaker. Well, then again, how can he be as strong as them, but also possibly be weaker than them? That doesn't really make a lot of sense here. I can definitely say he's about as strong as Saber. Berserker, on the other hand, I'm not too sure about. First of all, heroic spirits are as strong as their fame in the place they're summoned, right? There aren't many people here that know about Gilgamesh. That's true, but the change in power from popularity isn't that big. It seemed to me like that Goldie had an unfair advantage. I like how she refers to him in the anime as Blondie. I like that better, honestly, than Goldie. Tosca calls him by a strange name. It's Blondie, Tosuke. Call him Blondie. That's how he likes to be referred to. Well, with that aside, he did. All the noble phantasms he has are real. No, they all had originals of the real ones. Gilgamesh is a hero in the oldest myth, and he was a king that indulged in every possible luxury. Then it shouldn't be strange for him to own all the originals of the legendary weapons. Oh, then what? The noble phantasms he used weren't noble phantasms, but just weapons? I assume so. I bet his noble phantasm is his treasury. I think his noble phantasm is the treasury where he kept all the weapons he collected during his life. I see. Then it's natural that Berserker couldn't beat him. Every heroic spirit has a weak point. If he has the originals of every noble phantasm, he just needs to take out the one that is the most effective against his enemy. That's right. If there's a chance of victory, it is that he is not a master of these weapons. He is not a wielder that has mastered his weapon to the limit, so I think there is still a way to beat him. But with all that aside... Hey, Tosuke, this has nothing to do with this, but why did you call him Goldie? Huh? I guess, he had golden hair? What are you saying? You should have called Saber that if that's the case. It seems like you said it with a lot of meaning behind it. I think you noticed something, right? Huh? Don't hide it now. You noticed something, right? You're wrong. It's nothing serious like you're thinking, so don't worry too much about it. Don't lie. You wouldn't call him Goldie for no reason. Come on, Tosuke. I want as much information as possible right now. I stare at Tosuke. I love this music. After a few seconds, she sighs as if she's given up. Well, he had many valuable looking things, right? So I just thought he's really rich. Well, he was a king. That's why I called him Goldie. He looks like he's living a luxurious life, right? Why don't I call you Goldie? You look like you're living a luxurious life. Tosuke scratches her cheek while looking away. How scary. It seems anyone who's rich is called Goldie by Tosuke. Speak for yourself, goddammit, you're rich. You live in a fucking castle, or well, a mansion. Almost close to a castle, though. Kind of looks like Iliasfield's castle, just smaller. What's more scary is that Tosuke figured out the servant's true nature just because he seemed rich. Anyways, that's another troublesome guy. There's not supposed to be an 8th servant, so he would be the Joker. I'm imagining Gilgamesh as the Joker. If Gilgamesh is the Joker, does that mean that Shiro is Batman? I want to question Kirei as the supervisor, but I don't know his whereabouts. Oh, he's just kind of lurking around in the shadows right now, as he usually does. Well, we have to postpone that since Castor is more important right now. That's right. Castor is obtaining more power as we speak. Saber should not be able to oppose Castor's control much longer. No. In the worst case, Saber could already be under her control. Yeah. We couldn't get Iliasfield's help, but that doesn't mean we can let them be. We'll just have to think of a way to beat Castor with the two of us. Yeah. We don't have any ideas, but we'll have to. She sighs and sits on the rubble. I never thought we'd have a strategic meeting in a castle. I follow Tosuke's lead and sit down. Well, we'll have a bed to sleep in here. If we're lucky, we might even find some magical item of Iliasfield's. And the moment we let our guard down... Get real! You're going to defeat them just by yourselves? That's impossible, you idiots! A stunned voice comes from the front entrance. Guess who, motherfucker? We jump up and turn to face the speaker. Since that night, huh? It's great you two are still hanging in there. Lancer! I quickly concentrate and connect my magic circuit. He is certainly Lancer. He speared my heart on that night 10 days ago. I can't let it happen again. I have to let Tosca escape before he attacks. Get away, Shiro. I'll keep him busy, so you run to the second floor. Run, Tosca. I'll hold him back, so you run outside. Hey, I make the decisions around here, mister. Hold on. It seems you weren't listening to me at all when I told you to value your life. She lowers the hand pointed at Lancer and points at me. But I have objections as well. Don't be stupid. I told you I won't heed your warning. It's my role to fight hand to hand. This is the second time I'm fighting him, and I'm more suited for it. That can't be true. He's a foot soldier. How can I, the ranged attacker, run away from an enemy with no ranged weapons? That's why. Can't you tell you'll die if he closes in on you? You can't. You can just back me up from a distance. You idiot! I can't back you up. I don't know any magic that's that precise. I'll bet I'll blow you away along with him. Don't come out with your destructive personality. First of all, why do you always try to be flashy? Try doing something modest for a change. I can understand Castor not wanting you now. Oh. What? And we argue for a few minutes. When we begin to tire and wonder how this got started, I noticed that Lancer's watching us with a smile. He's enjoying this. Oh, you're done? I'm in no hurry, so finish it off. It's good to let out everything you have. I cough and glare back at Lancer. I take half a step forward and Tosca's right behind me. Man, we should have done so from the start. Yeah, no, might as well argue with my girlfriend about, which one of us should try to fight Lancer and inevitably end up getting ourselves killed. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry to say this after you've reached a compromise, but I don't intend to fight. I was just unable to ignore you guys. I'm butting in so that I can help you guys out a bit. What? Hold on. What did you just say? Did I mishear you? I think I heard that you're helping us. Oh, is it that hard to understand my point? I guess I'll rephrase it. You two are no match for Castor, so I'll lend you guys a hand. I'm stunned, but Tosca quickly grasps the situation. I see. You really are butting in. Is that really your idea? No, it's an order from my master. He wants me to cooperate against Castor since he's alone. Well, we're just making a quick alliance until we defeat Castor. That's a sound reason, but I think there's a more reliable guy to talk to. Is she talking about Shinji and Gilgamesh? It seems Tosca is trying to figure out if Lancer knows about them. No, they won't do. I don't want to ally with them. I have no complaints about his power, but it's too troublesome to worry about my back when I'm fighting. Oh, that's the correct choice, Lancer. Is that an order from your master as well? Well, I wouldn't really be so sure since his master is known for his backstabbing. That's wrong as well. I chose you two out of personal interest. You guys are easier to talk to since we're acquaintances, right? He speaks plainly. Oh yeah, acquaintances, coming from the guy who killed me or tried once and then tried to kill me again. It seems that fighting Archer and driving his lance through my heart are the same as becoming acquaintances in his mind. Hold on, Lancer. I was almost killed twice by you, and you think I'm going to believe you? I do believe you. Your commander-in-chief is a good, frank woman. Such a good woman is helping you out, so you must be good-natured as well, right? Huh. I frown. I'm troubled that Tosca is nodding at our enemy's words. So that's it. That's why I thought we might be able to cooperate. Oh, but let me tell you, it's not you guys. I'm the one who thought that you guys would make good allies. I can't understand the difference. Aren't you the cocky one? You brought on the proposal, but you're the one that's going to choose? Yeah, I've liked you since the first time I saw you.
You're beautiful, stubborn, and courageous. If I'm to have a female master, I want someone like you.
Ah shit, he's flirting with her, Shiro. What are you gonna do? Lancer looks at Tosca with cool eyes. You walk into GameStop and this guy taps your girlfriend's ass. What do? I don't like him for some reason. I wonder why. Fine, I'm up for it, but it's not decided yet. If Emiya-kun can't trust you, we have to break off negotiations. So, that's what she's saying. What will you do, kid? Your character is being tested. Lancer looks at me, trying to suppress his laughter. My answer is... Oh, God. I don't mind, but under one condition. I think we're gonna go with that one. We might as well say first, though, in case whatever we do decides... Whatever we do kills us. I think refusing would definitely get us a bad ending. Alright, I don't mind under one condition. Let's go with this one, because I think this is the proper choice. I think really either one of these is the right choice, but I'm going to see what happens if we go with the second one here. We have to accept his offer. Even if he's an enemy, he's still right. Tosca and I can't beat Castor, but we might have a chance if Lancer's with us. But... Alright, I'll believe you. But it'll be under one condition. I'll accept your help in defeating Castor, and we'll trust you. But what? You want me to tell you who my master is? No, even though we're cooperating, stay away from Tosca. Both their expressions right there. That's great. The air freezes. It's like they don't believe what they just heard. Lancer is speechless, like he's been sucker punched. I see. Yeah, that's so much more important than who my master is. You're right, kid. He starts laughing heartily. Is that bad? I'm telling you that you can't have Tosca. I just noticed she started blushing. That's not bad at all. Rather, I have a better opinion of you now. Wow, that's great, young lady. This kid's completely fallen for you. What are you saying? We're not like that. Yes, we're just cooperating. Really? You're irritating. What's with that know-it-all face? Come on, say something, Shiro. Tell him we're just cooperating. Oh my god. Hey, say something, you idiot. This is as if we really do love each other. Hey, it's not as if. You two are already in love. Even I can tell, and I'm only watching from the side. But she's actually denying it. This is troublesome, kid. I never had that problem with women. They always accepted me. Lancer makes a sympathetic gesture. Well, I already know Tosca's troublesome. I dismiss his sympathy with a sour look. What? Oh, how reassuring. Then I shall take care when I socialize with her. I won't use my charms on her. But she's fun to tease, so I'm going to entertain myself while we're together. You don't mind that condition, right? Alright, we'll go with that. We'll have your help until we beat Castor. Then it's decided. Well, let's shake hands. Lancer walks to me unarmed and shakes my hand. I'd really be afraid that he's gonna stab me again. There are worrying factors, but we're able to obtain a reliable ally. Tosca, his mana is running low. You have to do something. All that's left is... I'm so mad! Fine, I'm breaking my ties with you guys. I'm going to go beat Castor by myself. Well, have fun with that. How can I calm her down?
Well, I guess you're gonna have to figure that out for yourself, Shiro, as there's not really a choice to do that. We walk through the dark forest. Although we don't know his intentions, having Lancer's help means that we don't need to stay at the castle anymore. Lancer must have taken a liking to Tosca, as he keeps messing with her and getting hit by her. Hey now, you have your own master, right? Then you should stay quiet. We're going to be enemies after we beat Castor, so it does no good to be talking. Anything other than planning is unnecessary. What? We can't talk because we're going to be enemies? You have less composure than you look like you have, huh? It should be natural for you to drink until dawn with someone that gets along with you, even if he may be your enemy. Tosca doesn't seem like the type of person that'd be able to hold her liquor. Where are you from? All that friends today, foes tomorrow business is out of style these days. If we don't think things all the way through, it's rude to the other party. Well, it sure became a boring world. Lancer does not learn his lesson. I think they've been repeating the same kind of conversation for a while now. More importantly, Lancer, you know what your role is, right? Huh? Yeah, leave it to me. You two are going to fight Castor and her master, right? My role is to fight Archer. I'll have to fight Saber as well in the worst case, but it won't be a problem if all I have to do is keep them busy. He speaks objectively. He isn't even scared of fighting Saber and Archer at the same time. Oh yeah, Saber commented on him when we were training in the dojo. She said Lancer's the best when it comes to surviving. She praised him, saying that with his excellent agility and great experience, Lancer would be an impregnable wall if he went into defense. He must have fought many battles from disadvantageous positions when he was alive. This man ran through fatal battles like a panther and lived on. That's fine, but our enemy isn't just Archer and Saber. Castor also has Assassin. In the worst case, you'd have to fight 3. Ugh, that's bad. I don't like that guy. I don't even want to fight him one-on-one if I can help it. It's best to kill such a guy from a distance, but there's no point in worrying. Assassin won't be at the church. How can you say so? If Castor won't go back to the Ryudo Temple, won't she call for her guard assassin? No, Assassin is a servant that Castor summoned, but he has his limitations because of that. He is a heroic spirit summoned to that place. He can't leave the Ryudo Temple, and in any case, Castor won't call for him. He is a servant that Castor summoned without letting her master know. She will try to hide Assassin as long as they're at the church, and I'm sure she won't let go of the Ryudo Temple either. She won't let go of the Ryudo Temple? Does that mean... It's because that mountain is the summoning place of the Holy Grail. Do you know? This is the 5th Holy Grail War, but there are only 4 possible places for the Holy Grail to be summoned into. 2 of the places are the Ryudo Temple and the church. By the way, it was summoned at the church in the 3rd war. The 4th one was summoned in a plain somewhere. Oh, I thought you didn't think at all, but you're pretty well informed. It's just that my master is fastidious. I'm not interested in your doings. Okay, but I see. The summoning this time has returned to the same place as the first time, huh? Tosca starts to ponder. Lancer watches her with the light and walks on in the dark forest. The date has already changed. The day should be dawning by the time we get out of this forest. I mentally prepare myself as I walk. We will fight Castor again in a few hours. I won't hesitate, even if that girl would have turned into our enemy by then. We'll defeat Castor. I have to tell myself that it is the most important thing right now. We head to the battlefield. No matter what may be awaiting us at the church at daybreak, we cannot stop now. That was an interesting title, Night, Stay Night. Before that, there's just one more conversation. Just as they exit the forest, and when the sky's beginning to lighten up, before they get to the church, she informs him of the fact she has kept hidden. I'll tell you right now, there's only one of the pendant that you gave back to me. She does not tell him what that means, and he does not inquire about it. It is because such matters are unnecessary when they are about to face their greatest enemy, Castor. The one and only pendant. The one he found in her room and returned to her. The one he found on that night and put into his desk. Now is not the time to ask about the contradiction. That's all I need to tell you. The pendant you found in my room is something Archer returned to me on the day you were attacked by Lancer. I thought he went and picked it up for me. The decisive battle is near. The tall church can be seen in the horizon. Yeah, that pendant's actually somewhat important. I never really thought it was that important, but you'll see why. Tosca says she wants to confirm one last time. Our roles are already set. Lancer will draw Archer and Saber away from Castor. We will use that opening to attack Castor. Lancer asks ironically if we would be able to beat her by ourselves. To that, yeah, I'm sure I can outwit Castor if I fight one-on-one with her. Well, you are both magi. Tosca answers with confidence. I don't know what she means by outwitting her. She didn't tell us even when we asked, so it must be a plan that will have a lower success rate if we know about it. Then what I need to do is fulfill Tosca's demand. With all my might, I will keep Kazuki from protecting Castor. If I need them, I will project his swords as many times as necessary. I close my eyes and dive inside myself. The magic circuit inside me is stable. Magic beyond one's ability will destroy the caster. Half of my body became numb the first time. It was easy and nothing happened to me the second time. There's no guarantee the third time will be the same, but I don't think it's a problem to project his swords. My body is stable. The magic circuit that was hard even to construct is easily activated now. It's like there's a fake nerve behind my real nerves, and they are reversible with the push of a button. I'm trying to convince myself that it's because I've gotten used to it. I can easily prepare the swords. Projection has become my primary weapon. It's a big improvement over 10 days ago. It's not only my magic, my sword technique has improved as well. The reason behind it? No, I try not to think about the reason. It's more important to beat Castor and take back Saber. Asking myself stupid questions can come after the battle. The headache gets stronger as I near the church. It's just like when I was looking for Tosca, but I avoid thinking about that. The morning light is gray. The sun is blocked off by clouds, obscuring the dawn's brightness. The sky above is gloomy. The sky is more gray than black, and it reminds me of that time 10 years ago. It should rain soon. An impure gray sky. Beneath it stands that man. I knew you would come, considering your personality. He stares at her with cool eyes. Tosca doesn't say anything and stares back at him. So, what is the plan you've prepared? You're not the type to come attack without one. Yeah, I'll be fighting you. I'm surprised. You made a contract with the new servant already? Man, I know I'm not one to talk, but you're pretty fickle. Switching sides may have been a good idea after all. I don't care, Shiro. Don't let him provoke you. She stops me, still staring at Archer. But it's obvious looking at her face. She knows he's baiting her, but his words still hurt. Huh. I didn't like you from the start, but it seems you're rotten to the core. Oh, does betrayal irritate you, Lancer? And you're not even the one who got betrayed. How faithful of you. I'm not supporting the young lady over there. I just don't like servants like you. A hero's pride, huh? Man, everyone says the same thing. Even Castor had such a ridiculous thing. What good is honor once you're dead? I honestly can't understand how you people think. You don't have to. I'll make it easy so you don't have to think about it. There is no more need for words. All that remains is the intent to kill, with Lancer's sharp and Archer's calm. They are about 10 meters apart. The confrontation of the knights in blue and red are just like that night. Lancer. Tosca calls out to the blue back. You two go inside. I'll catch up once I beat him. I know, but Lancer, Archer is... Yeah, I'll go easy on him. No need to crawl and beg your forgiveness. He speaks without turning, grinning at Archer.
ありがとう。
Thanks.
助力に来て
I'm
くれ
glad
て
you're the one who came to
あなた
help
が良かっ
us.
た。
We go around the two as we head to the church. The guard, Archer, lets us through unchallenged. No, he has to let us through. Archer is already confronting Lancer. Lancer will pierce him if he lets us distract him. He can attack either of us and leave himself open to Lancer, or he can fight Lancer and let us go. If he really is guarding this place, the choice should be obvious. We run around the courtyard and open the door to the church without hesitation. Behind us. Man, this is troublesome. What is, Lancer? Well, I can't go easy after she makes a face like that. That's troubling, right? She's a great master, but I'm not one that can readily betray my master. You are too easygoing, Lancer. Do you know the saying, grass is always greener on the other side of the fence?
What does that even have to do with this situation right now? Like, how does that metaphor relate to anything, really? I'm guessing he's saying that Castor is a better master, and that's what that's supposed to mean? I don't know. Huh, what are you saying? Whoa. There's no way I'd know such a phrase! Or know why you're referencing that phrase.
悠長にやってる時間はないわ。
We don't have much time. We'll beat Castor before their match is decided. I know. Let's cut the talk from now on. You're sure you're okay with fighting Castor alone, right?
ええ。
Yeah. I'm sure I'll be thoroughly cornered, but don't help me. You can concentrate on keeping Kazuki-sensei away as long as possible.
先生をできるだけ引き離してくれればいい。
We go past the main area and head to the door leading to the courtyard. I won't hesitate if Tosca says so, but I don't know if it's possible for me to back Tosca up even if she's cornered. My opponent is Kazuki. I won't be able to dodge his attacks if I'm paying attention to Tosca. Castor's presence is getting closer. The church is filled with her magical energy as she must not be hiding her powers anymore. I bet she already knows about our raid. Trace. On. I carefully knit together the illusion using 8 steps. I'm getting the hang of it. His swords are in my hands within a minute. I feel a light headache. Even though I'm getting used to it, it takes a toll on my body. Projection is damaging my body deeper than I realize. Was it my imagination? I think Tosca hung her head for a second. We go down through the darkness. We run down the stairs and come out into an open area. And after that, we jump down into the temple like I did before. Oh, you guys are like monkeys, jumping down like that.
Jumping down into certain death.
I don't know why you're in such a hurry, but use the stairs if you're human. We land in the temple.
Or slide down the rail.
This was supposed to be a surprise attack, but Castor greets us with composure. Kazuki Soichiro is standing next to Castor. I don't feel any enmity or bloodlust from him. That's his battle posture. His clear murderous intent is hiding the scariness of that man. In that regard, he's more like an assassin than servant assassin. Saber is on top of the altar. She's just like she was 2 days ago. Saber hangs there, her head bowed. I'm relieved we made it, but on the other hand, I'm worried about why she's so quiet. I think Saber was in pain before. She was shivering and gasping, resisting Castor's magic with all her might. But she's dead silent now.
Yeah, it looks like she was getting some pleasure out of it too. I don't know what was up with that. I really don't. Like, this is my second time reading through this visual novel. I still have no idea why the fuck Nasu decided to put that in there. I guess maybe just fan service. I guess that's why. I have a bad feeling. It's great that Assassin's not here, but if this bad feeling comes true, we won't get out of here alive. I'm here, Castor. I thought about it thoroughly, but I've decided to have you eliminated. You're an eyesore. You get in my way. You annoy me, and I hate the way you look. You're like some backwoods hag with that purple robe of yours. Backwoods hag. Tosca insults Castor, hoping to break her composure. I really don't think that's going to work. She slowly closes the distance between them as she talks.
radiating confidence she probably doesn't feel. I shouldn't be concerned about Saber either. Tosca is facing Caster by going counterclockwise, so I walk clockwise. Caster and Kazuki, if we were to separate them, we have to attack them from different sides and isolate our enemies. Letting you go seems to have given the wrong impression. Why are Magi so reckless nowadays? No wonder Archer gave up on you. Tosca's insults must have worked, as Caster is glaring at her. How can you tell? You can't even see her eyes. I move while she does so. I move to the other side of Tosca, to a place where I can attack Caster from behind. I think you're kind of forgetting about Kazuki there, Shiro. I don't think you'd want to attack Caster. Kazuki watches me in silence. I thought so. There's no way that this man would not notice our trick. Kazuki knows what's going on, that we are trying to isolate our enemies and that Tosca has some plan. Even with that in mind, he's letting Caster do as she wishes. It's not that Kazuki is controlled by Caster. He's acting of his own free will. But still, his passivity is like that of a puppet. A servant skilled in magic as the backup, and a master skilled in hand-to-hand combat. Their roles are reversed, and I think their natures are reversed as well. Caster seeks the Holy Grail frantically, while the master protects her without question. That makes me think, what if Caster was the master and Kazuki was the servant who protected her? Maybe they wouldn't have fallen so low if that were the case. Tosca glares at me. It means our positions are perfect. Then, that match will be settled when either of us attacks. It doesn't matter if we get defeated or if Tosca beats Caster before that. Our fight will end here. Well, let us start. This is the third time I've fought you. I'm getting tired of seeing your face, so I'll settle this right here. Tosca takes a step towards Caster. You're talking big. I doubt this, but please do not tell me you honestly believe you can beat me. In that case, we don't even need to fight. I'll let you go again so that you can fix that brain of yours. Of course I can beat you. Isn't that right? There's no way a first-class Magus like me would lose to a third-class Magus like you. Oh no, you didn't! I see. I guess it can't be helped. It seems I need to discipline that arrogant mouth of yours, little lady. That can be taken many different ways. They get ready at the same time. With a few meters between them, they act like mirror images. That's the signal. I attack the defenseless Caster. And Kazuki guards her. Yeah, I guess that was the plan all along. Like, attack Caster and then Kazuki will obviously go after you. Although, I mean, he could have just attacked Kazuki. Wouldn't have mattered. He would have defended either way. And of course, I'm stopped by Kazuki. The ghost-like assassin is in front of me. I can't spare any attention for Caster and Tosca's fight. He knows what I intend to do. He will not let me buy time. Letting out the snake that even cornered Saber, Kazuki Soichiro comes to take my life. I can hold him off for a minute at most. It should be the same for Tosca. But originally, with our opponents reversed, we had no chance of victory. Close-range fighting or magic, we have no way of beating our opponents who surpass us in skill. But looking at it the other way, we can at least put up a fight. Tosca would be killed in an instant if she fought Kazuki. I would be killed in an instant if I fought Caster. In contrast, we might not be able to win, but we won't be killed in an instant with this matchup. So in other words, this battle is not about how to beat one's opponent. Instead, this is a contest to see how long we can hold off of an opponent of superior skill. The two weapons clash. Twin swords and lance. The attacks are executed to take their wielders' necks. There's no hesitation in those attacks. Each strike is meant to kill. Even Lancer makes no exceptions. Even though he told Tosca Rin, his ally, that he would go easy, that becomes secondary once the battle starts. It merely means that if his lance happens to miss Archer's heart and it does not kill him instantly, he will refrain from finishing Archer off on the spot. Even in that case, his enemy will die in due time, but Lancer just needs to drag him to Tosca Rin before that happens. Lancer does not care what happens after that. The red demonic lance invades the enemy territory. The lance breaks through Archer's defense each time it is thrust. It's not like that night. Archer cannot block Lancer's attacks now as he could then. It's only natural. This is their second battle. Lancer was under the command spell's bind. To learn his enemy's strengths, his master told Lancer,
"Fight against everyone, but do not defeat them. Survive your first battle against any opponent."
Oh, I wonder whose voice that could be. Oh, it's already... If we had... It's assuming we've read the Fate route, so I'm guessing it already assumes we know who he is, or who Lancer's master is.
That is the only order he was given. He has followed such an unreasonable command, and this is his first battle without any binds. Therefore, it cannot be like the last battle. There is nothing behind Lancer, and Archer is now forced to fight the fastest heroic spirit. A strained voice escapes Archer's mouth. Even his hawk-like eyes cannot follow Lancer's spear. The lance's movement is a point to start with, and it is like a flash of light now. He cannot discern the lance coming at him. Even Lancer's movements are becoming invisible now. He has been able to block such attacks until now because he has experienced them in a previous battle. He is doing what he can, using his inferiority as a weapon to block Lancer's furious onslaught. He is controlling where the attacks come. The Knight in Red limits the oncoming attacks by leaving fatal openings. Of course, he will die if he does not dodge the attacks. But if he can choose between instant death and getting slowly cut up, he prefers to risk instant death. Otherwise, it will have all been for nothing. Fortunately, Lancer is still taking Archer lightly. Or rather, he is lost in the joy of battle. If they are to keep on assaulting each other like this, he can think of another 30 ways to show an opening. Prediction using the information obtained, planning using cultivated battle experience. Those are the nerves of steel, the mind's eye that one obtains through training. This is nothing extraordinary. This is the only skill he possesses. It is not innate like Saber's instinct, but it is a simple weapon that anyone can gain through hard work. Lancer backs off and stops for a bit. He looks the Red Archer over as though dissatisfied. It's obvious who's going to win. Archer has no chance of victory in hand-to-hand combat. That has been obvious from the start. If Archer is an archer, like his name states, this cannot be a match unless he's shooting from a long range. But still, he blocked the attacks. He is inferior and should not last a few more blows, but he blocked Lancer's full force attacks. Is Archer strong, or is Lancer going easy on him? He laughs. Archer is a mysterious servant. He can admit that Archer is strong in that regard. But it is unthinkable for Lancer to be going easy. The first attack was aimed at the neck to chop his head off. The second attack was aimed at the heart to destroy his body. He cannot be going easy. He shouldn't be, but it is certainly true that he wasn't trying to kill Archer. How does one know that this sort of fight is serious? A battle between servants is a battle between noble phantasms. The fact that he is fighting Archer without using his is proof that he is going easy on him. The reason behind it must be the thanks he heard earlier. Damn, are you kidding me? The weapons clash harder than before. The two spring apart in a shower of sparks. The full force attack by Lancer is nullified by the full force attack by Archer. They are about 5 meters apart. It is a distance Lancer can close in an instant. I don't get it. The spearman in blue murmurs. You switched to Caster's side even though you are this strong? You and Rin would have had no trouble with Caster. Lancer stops emitting murderous intent, but there's no opening in his stance. At that, Archer smiles a bit. I'm surprised. You're still saying such things. Lancer, I chose the path that has the highest possibility of victory. I do not care what Rin thinks, but I'm sure there's no better plan than this. He speaks confidently, with no sign of guilt. The Knight in Red shows no regret about betraying his master. I see. I guess it was stupid of me to ask. Archer agrees. Lancer snorts and slowly raises the tip of his lance. You're certainly good at fighting. Your tactics will get you through many battles. But that is not the right way. Your swords are lacking in pride. His fighting spirit roars up. Even faced with this, the archer in red still smiles.
Fortunately, I do not have any pride.
But what about it? Will the name of the hero be disgraced? Don't make me laugh, Lancer. You can wash away disgrace with results. You can feed your meaningless pride to the dogs. In an instant, the slightly relaxed atmosphere changes. The air freezes. The magical energy to disturb the order of the world, the demonic lance that inverts cause and effect, is raised. His murderous intent is incomparable to his previous one. Though the tension must make it difficult to even breathe.
You said dog, Archer?
The blue-armored spearman growls in a voice that could drive the crows from a battlefield.
Yes, Kukulin. If you have pride as a hero, you should get rid of it right now.
Well said. Then you can die first. Lancer jumps back a great distance. It is no longer a matter of thrusting his lance. There are over 100 meters between them now. Lancer leapt back to the entrance of the clearing and crouches on all fours like a beast. Archer's senses freeze. Is it fear or awe? Either way, Archer understands right away the meaning of Lancer's retreat. He knows that his enemy's next attack is literally a fatal attack.
You know about Gaybolg's ability, right?
Lancer, with his limbs on the ground, raises his waist. It's just like a sprinter waiting for the signal gun. Archer has no reply to spare. The knight in red throws away his swords and immerses himself in his own mind. But will he make it? Lancer's posture. If his demonic lance is just like the legend, a noble phantasm to block it cannot be anything superficial.
Here I come. Take this attack as your farewell gift.
The Blue Panther runs. Even his afterimage is a blur. Lancer speeds to Archer like a whirlwind. There are 100 meters between them. Lancer is not going to thrust his lance using that whole distance to gain speed. The blue figure crouches. After running 50 meters in an instant, the spearman suddenly leaps up from the ground. His body flies through the air. He holds the demonic lance, said to always pierce the heart once it is thrust over his head. Space distorts, according to legend. The lance scatters numerous spearheads once it is released. In other words, Gate! The lance of causality joins with the words to form a tapestry of action. The spearman in blue arches his back as if drawing a bow. Hold! And he smashes down the attack with a roar. This noble phantasm is a throwing attack by nature, a lance that never misses the heart, a cursed noble phantasm that cannot be avoided and will attack the enemy even if it misses. That is Gaybolg, lance of destruction possessed by the hero that never lost it in his lifetime. As it is hurled using all of Lancer's magical energy, it can neither be dodged nor blocked. Therefore, it is fatal. There is no way for anyone to survive once they are targeted by the demonic lance. The bullet approaches. In a split second, the knight in red closes his eyes as if accepting his death. Ingrish! The thorn of light blazes forth, and right before the thorn of destruction coming from the heavens strikes Archer. Its true name shakes the very air as it is spoken. God damn! The lance crashes into the shield, the lance of death that penetrates every wall and outmaneuvers any evasion. That lance has been stopped. Radiating a storm of heat, the lance of sure kill is stopped by Archer's noble phantasm. The 7 flower petals appear from empty space and shield Archer from the demonic bullet. Who would know? This shield is Aias, the only shield to have repelled the javelin of the great hero in the Trojan War. There are 7 barriers shaped like flower petals, and each layer is as strong as a castle wall. It is a boundary field noble phantasm that is said to be invincible against projectile weapons. A thrown lance will be defeated by this shield without penetrating even one of the petals. At the very least, Archer does not know of a lance that can penetrate this shield. Well, too bad for him. He's gonna die. But the lance of sure kill drills through the shield like it's nothing. The sixth petal is destroyed. Only one remains. The demonic lance reaches the seventh layer that has never been broken. The unstoppable thorn of the demonic lance. In the face of that power, with a roaring spirit, Archer puts all his magical energy into the noble phantasm.
Too late.
After landing, Lancer glares at the servant in front of him. Archer has wounds all over his body. His raised arm is barely attached. His face is strained in pain, not only from the wounds on the arm, but also from the agony in his head.
I'm surprised. I did not think there was a weapon that could penetrate the ice. Your lance is stronger than the original Gungnir.
The knight in red praises the spearman in blue from the bottom of his heart. But Lancer does not hear him. His strongest attack, the attack that made him a hero, has been blocked. He is so angry that his glare should be able to kill someone. But the anger is almost erased by his wonder. This is too strange. It is true that Archer is a mysterious servant. His identity is unknown. He carries twin swords even though he's an archer. And now he shows a shield that can even block Lancer's strongest attack. It is absurd. There is no such hero on this planet.
Who are you? I'm just an archer. Your analysis was incorrect.
Bullshit! An archer would not have a shield to block a noble phantasm.
I guess you can, under the right circumstances. But this is the result. I used up most of my magical energy. One of my arms is destroyed, and Ias is shattered. Man, that was the greatest protection I had.
Lancer only glares at Archer. Then,
More importantly, have you noticed, Lancer? It seems Caster's in trouble. She's no longer supervising us.
Archer raises both of his hands as if in surrender.
I see. I knew it. That was your intention from the start, huh? Of course. I told you, right? I will only take the route with the greatest chance of success.
Huh.
I really do hate you.
Saying so, Lancer turns his back to Archer. His work is done. His role of keeping Archer busy is meaningless now. There is no more need for him to side with Tosca Rin. The spearman in blue starts to walk away and lays down on the grass to wait and see.
The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, Lancer.
I desperately parry the oncoming fists. Kazuki's fists are live snakes. Even if I barely dodge them, they change their paths to come bite me. That's why Saber was seriously wounded. Saber was bitten by Kazuki's snakes because she had the reflexes to dodge them. But I don't have such reflexes. I can't dodge them, and first of all, I can't even see his fists. I can't dodge them when I can't even see his fists. My shoulder. Kazuki's fist grazed my left collarbone. It's just like a bush hammer. It feels as if my shoulders are being crushed and I almost dropped my swords. I bear it and parry the fist going for my temple using the sword in my right hand. I desperately retreat. I pitifully retreat while Kazuki closes in, not revealing any hints of how he advanced. I shudder at his stance. I won't be able to withstand the next attack. It's miraculous that I was able to parry the attacks until now. It doesn't feel real. I hoped that I'd be able to protect myself and buy time for Tosca until she defeated Caster, but such hope disappeared after I took the first blow. Kazuki Soichiro took our previous battle into account. I was able to fend off Kazuki as he attacked Tosca back then, so I thought I'd be able to fend him off again if I had Archer's twin swords. But, in other words, it means that I won't be able to do anything without them. Kazuki knows that. What he did in the first battle was try to take the swords away from me. The sword in my right hand is destroyed. The fist, strengthened with Caster's magic, shatters my sword with a few blows. Trace on! I immediately reproduce the short sword. I can't hope for high results with a force projection, a quickly prepared sword. As a result, the twin swords start to lose their precision. can't breathe right. I frantically block Kazuki's fist with the short swords. I just follow the twin sword. In copying Archer, Miyashiro's limbs have far exceeded the limits of his body. And then there's this headache. Something is scraped away inside of me every time I project something. It's not the sensation of using up magical energy. It feels like my precious magical circuits are disappearing one by one every time I make a sword. I'm almost all out. I might be able to make 2 more. I'll die when my magical energy runs out. But first of all, can I stay alive until my magical energy runs out? I'm flung away. Kazuki's right fist, the fist he hadn't been using, was suddenly thrust like a lance. I shielded my chest with my blades. In that instant, my swords were destroyed and the impact flung me away. I feel something hard on my back. I must have been pushed back about 5 meters. I try to draw a breath and realize that I can't. The penetrating impact has numbed my heart. I can't breathe and I can't move. It's only for a few seconds. In the few moments it takes my heart to resume its work. The devil approaches. This is it. This man could kill me if I dropped my guard only for a second. With me like this, he has time to do it 6 times over. I glare at the enemy. Even if my limbs won't move, there's something I can do. First of all, I'm not suited for melee combat. Miyashiro's weapon has always been his magic. Then, it's not over yet. My role is to keep Kazuki busy. I can't give up without fulfilling my role. Huh? The sound didn't come from right in front of me. The image of the sword disappears from my mind. Kazuki, who was approaching to twist off my neck, stops. Something is happening behind Kazuki. It happened to Castor, with the altar behind her. Tosca is also at a disadvantage. No, her burden is greater, as she fully understands the difference in their powers. I can't even say that. Castor points her finger with a composed expression. The magic is arrow, plague wind. Castor does not need to cast her magic. For a witch that lived in the age of gods, incantations are unnecessary to connect herself with the world. Castor is always surrounded by divine mysteries of ancient lore. For Castor, magic is something she commands. It's just like ordering her guard dog to attack. Act! She nullifies it with her treasured jewel. She does not have the time to cast a spell, and she cannot match Castor with simple magic from the magic crest. Their skills as magi are as far apart as heaven and earth. To bridge that gap, she must use the power that she has spent a long time gathering. Crystallization of magical energy that she has stored since she was born as a magus. For this battle, she is prepared to use all 9 jewels remaining from the original 10. You are doing well. I didn't think you had such a trump card, little lady. Even though her magic is nullified by pure magical energy, Castor keeps her smile. Castor can continue using magic indefinitely, while the girl must oppose Castor using jewels as amplifiers. The difference between them is self-evident. No matter how many jewels she might have, it cannot be more than 10 or 20. There is no way Castor can be defeated with such a small arsenal. Sieben! She nullifies the electric charge with the 7th jewel. She has 6 jewels left. With 6 more spells from Castor, her last resort will be exhausted. Oh, you cleanly blocked them. You really are cute. You do not have to use up the whole jewel if you are only protecting yourself. She does not react to the giggling voice and takes out another jewel to get ready for the next attack. As Castor says, the jewel will not break if she uses it to protect only herself. The jewel should be able to protect her about 3 times, but she cannot do that. Castor's magic covers the whole temple once it is cast. Kazuki should be protected by Castor, but he is an exception. If she cannot nullify Castor's spell before it is completed, Miyashiro, who is keeping Kazuki Soichiro busy, will burn and die. Therefore, it is meaningless to protect just herself. She cannot allow him to die like that, and besides, the whole plan revolves around Shiro keeping Kazuki busy. Oh? Will you keep protecting him? That is good faith, but how long will it last? The result is clear if all you do is defend. Castor moves her finger. 6 Einfluss, Einhat! She makes the first move this time. Her jewels will run out and she will be killed if she keeps defending. Castor's magic and her jewels. The magical energy combined in them is the same, so it means she can beat Caster if she makes the first move. But there is no way to exceed Caster's spellcasting. If Tosca Rin is the fastest because she can perform magic directly by releasing the jewels, Caster is also the fastest as she is capable of creating divine mysteries with one word. There is no first move in their battle. This is merely a clash of power against power. The first one to run out of magical energy will die. Then, I'm not even gonna try to read that. She just needs to force her way through. She unleashes a barrage of jewels to penetrate Caster's magical energy. But to no avail. Jewels 5, 3, and 4 are released in succession. Moreover, she uses the treasured 4th jewel to add a synergistic effect. This magic is beyond her limits. You can't use magic surpassing your own level. The one who said that is breaking the rule to execute this attack. The attack will destroy not only the temple, but the whole church if Caster does not defend against it. But the witch in purple blocks it like nothing. No, she did not just nullify it. Caster has swallowed all of her magical energy inside of her robe. Tosca stands there in astonishment. Behind her, she can hear the sound of his defeat. Sounds of breaking swords and his body slamming against the wall. The match is about to be settled. She has nothing she can do and her body sways. She staggers forward as if overwhelmed by despair. Oh, is this it? You have no more jewels, right? Why don't you keep going and try until you run out? She has no spirit to answer her. No matter how many jewels she may have, that was her greatest attack. If even that attack is useless, then she cannot hurt Caster even if she has 100 jewels. I see. It seems you finally realized that you won't be a match no matter what you do. But it was fun. It has been a while since I last competed in magic. Yes, you have value just because of that. She stops herself from falling, holds in her nausea with her hand, and glares at Caster. Is it vexing? But this is reality. Actually, you should be proud. Even though I did play with you, you forced me to compete in magic. Then Caster points at her, as if to pronounce her death sentence. Disappear. It is a matter of time before that boy loses against my master. Let us finish before that. Caster slowly whispers her death. That opening. She has been waiting for this. She only needs to say one phrase to release it. She hangs her head and smiles as she murmurs. Okay then. Huh? Things aren't looking too good here. I doubt my own eyes for a second. Tosca and Caster. Their battle of magic has ended with Tosca's defeat. Tosca slowly staggered forward as if asking for Caster's forgiveness, and Caster released her magic to finish her off. At that instant, Tosca nullified the magic. That's fine. That's not surprising. The surprise came after that. Tosca charged in and attacked Caster. Tosca throws herself into hellfire. Nullifying the magic and using it as cover, she attacks Caster. Caster's surprise is that of a Magus. She could not have predicted that a Magus defeated in magic would attack her with bare hands. I didn't expect it either, so it must be like heresy for Caster, who is an excellent Magus. And it's not just some desperate move. Tosca closes in and hits Caster in the chest with a move from Chinese martial arts. A shattering sound. Tosca's fist must be strengthened like Kazuki's as her attack easily penetrates Caster's defense. You're a Magus, and you're fighting barehanded? Sorry, but self-defense is required knowledge for Magi nowadays. I'm fascinated by her combination. Tosca drops after the first attack. Putting her hand on the floor, she sinks below Caster's knees. To Caster, who lacks any experience in hand-to-hand combat, it must look like Tosca disappeared. She executes a strong sweep. She lashes out her foot with all her might as if to cut off Caster's legs. Damn, she just like kicked her against the wall.
Yeah.
Her feet swept from beneath her. Castor lands on her back. Well, not kicked her, but knocked her off her footing. But it doesn't end. After the sweep, Tosca gets up with her back turned to Castor, uses the turning momentum to attack with her elbow, and... Take this! Stopping her turning, Tosca punches with all her weight. Castor's body is knocked away. Taking the punch directly, Castor is smashed into the wall like me. You don't look too good there, Castor. With her back to the wall, Castor moans dizzily. Got you! They are separated. Tosca kicks the ground to cover the few meters in between them. The match is settled. Castor cannot move and her wound seems fatal. The battle only lasted a moment. The match is decided within 5 seconds after I was smashed into the wall by Kazuki. Castor doesn't have the energy to fight back. Tosca runs to Castor with saber-like speed and executes her finishing blow, strengthening of a few seconds using magic. Tosca intended to fight Castor like this from the start. Castor only saw a Magus in Tosca. She challenged Castor at magic so that she could achieve her one-time surprise attack. And the plan worked. Castor has been deceived and has lost completely. Tosca has won the battle. Yes.
No. That is it, Tosca.
If not for this man's monstrous ability. If Tosca ran to Castor like a hurricane, he ran like the devil's wind.
No way!
Tosca stops. Kazuki Soichiro, the one who was in front of me until now, is standing in front of Castor.
Oh.
Tosca moves. The instant Tosca feels death, jumps back, and shields herself. Kazuki's attack that blew me away strikes Tosca in the face. Ooh. She guarded her face with both arms and jumped back, but she's still sent flying. Tosca smashes into the wall opposite me, her arms dangling as if broken.
You lost your chance. Your lack of experience shows in your inability to kill her after 4 strikes.
He speaks plainly. But that's not Tosca's fault. The reason she lost her chance is because of me. If I had kept Kazuki busy, Tosca would have beaten Castor. This is my fault. My weak fighting skills were unable to stand up to Kazuki's ability, and our once-in-a-lifetime opportunity was lost. Castor regains consciousness. Protected by Kazuki, Castor looks around the temple. This is it. The surprise attack won't work on Castor anymore. Tosca is tired and I can only project 2 more swords. If Castor uses her in this situation, we will never make it out of here alive. Phew. I thank you, Master. I would have been defeated without you.
You do not need to flatter me. Just get Saber. We cannot take them lightly.
Yes, that is a good decision, Master. Castor points to the woman on the altar, the visible binding of the curse, and when Castor tries to release it.
Yes, if only you had done it a few seconds sooner.
Above me, I hear a soft voice from the stairs leading up. It is Castor that notices the strange event first. Kazuki doesn't notice. It is because Kazuki cannot detect magical energy. Castor moves, above her master, above Kazuki Soichiro's head, are floating numerous swords. Soichiro! She must have figured out that her injuries will prevent her from blocking them with magic. Castor uses her body to protect her master. Trace on. The murmuring voice from above says those words. And dead. You're done. You're done, son. Oops. The sounds end. The swords appearing in midair come down at one target and pierce one body. The numerous blades rip and tear the meat, then disappear like an illusion. What's left are traces of blood. It, having become a shield of her own free will, now turns her bloody body to the man behind her. Kazuki is silent. In front of him is the skewered servant. Maybe there's no need to hide it now. The robe is removed from her head and the woman walks over to her master with a bare face. Her body is collapsing. With the dying body, the woman looks up at her master, who has not twitched a brow. Her slender fingers run across the expressionless face. Oh. Are you okay, Master? Her voice seems clear. There is no change in Kazuki. He only answers with a simple yes, and does not even look at Castor. Good. It would only trouble me if you die. She looks as if it is fine. No, the woman smiles, knowing what kind of man he is. But this is cruel. I finally found a wish. The fingers running along his cheek fall down. Beginning at her toes, Castor's body is disappearing. You do not have to grieve. I will make your wish come true. She smiles at the simple answer. She smiles as if seeing a short-lived dream. That is impossible. Because my wish was being fulfilled until now. I wonder what she could mean. Well, that's just really depressing, isn't it? That's about as depressing as Iliasville getting her heart ripped out and dying. The witch collapses as if going to sleep. The purple robe falls. The robe without its wearer fades and disappears as if following her. Kazuki does not even look at her. His attention is focused on the man above. The knight in red who should be above me. I get a headache. It's not just because I've abused projection. The muttered spell. The spell, he said, is smashing my brain with nausea. Trace on. That's what he said. He said the exact words of the spell that shouldn't be used by anyone else but me. Archer comes down the stairs and stands in the temple. Tosca is watching him with surprise. Archer? I thought so, but it's true? Archer does not answer. He is only watching his enemy, Kazuki. Treacherous fiend, huh? You were going from this from the start, Archer. Yes, but this is more like the Trojan horse. I had defeated the Greek hero, so this is more appropriate as a compensation. Archer shows no guilt even though he has betrayed Castor in front of us. I see. I guess it was Castor's mistake for drawing in a guy like you. Kazuki does not change his tone even in front of a betrayer. He still has the will to fight. He is not a magus and he has lost Castor, but he has the will to continue fighting. He readies himself. As Castor is gone, Kazuki's strength must have dropped substantially. His snake is still there, but Castor's strengthening that made his fists into steel is gone. But still, Kazuki faces Archer like before. I see. I will not stop you if you want to continue. Archer readies his twin swords. Their duel has begun. What? Is that alright? Kazuki said he has no interest in the Holy Grail. A master in name only. He merely went along with Castor. Then there's no reason for him to fight now that Castor's gone. Hold on. Why are you continuing, Kazuki? You were only doing as Castor told you. Castor's gone now, so there's no reason for you to fight anymore. I glare at them, gritting my teeth against the pain. Kazuki narrows his eyes a bit. Right. I do not have a reason to fight. Like you, I had no interest in the Holy Grail. Then... But this is something I have started. I cannot stop midway. That's it. That's all the reason he has. The battle starts. The battle should end in one blow. Even if Kazuki has superhuman fighting abilities, he's fighting a servant. He can't be a match just by being superhuman. Even though this is called a battle, it's actually just disposal of the loser. The fate of the loser. It is the battle between masters to kill and be killed. And that is the end they have to be ready for. One shouldn't fight at all if he can't accept that. But still. What's wrong with stopping them if I can? Let's save here. What's wrong with stopping them if I can? What good is stopping them? I guess I'll go with what good is stopping them. Like, I know it's kind of in Shiro's nature to try to save people, but this is really just gonna... If we get in the way, it's not gonna be good. So let's just go with what good is stopping them. I have no right to stop them. Even if he was Castor's puppet, Kazuki did not stop her. He did not stop Castor from sucking magical energy out of people, and he even supported it. Then, even if he's not a Magus, Kazuki is a master. To defeat other masters means killing them. We fought, prepared to kill each other. Kazuki does not want any help, and he has not admitted defeat. The man in front of me will only stop in death. So, how can I, a master, stop them? And after a moment's confrontation, Kazuki moves. Kazuki's fists haven't weakened at all. They reach out like snakes to smash Archer's temple. Archer dodges it by a hair and pierces Kazuki's chest as if to silence him. Well, that was quick. There's only silence. Nobody says anything, and I have nothing to say in any case. Kazuki Soichiro died. He was silent until the very end, and he died on the path he chose without showing regret or hope. I have a headache. Is my magic circuit compressing my nerves? Or can I not forgive Archer for killing Kazuki? Or am I pissed at myself for not having the right to say anything to him? I can't tell, and my headache only gets worse. I turn around at the sound. With Castor's disappearance, the bonds must have broken. Saber is on the floor in front of the altar. Huh? Saber painfully breathes on the floor. That makes me forget about my headache. Saber! I run to her. Even this short distance is an annoyance. Shiro. She raises her head. Saber sighs in relief as she sees me run to her end. Huh? She tackles me with her shoulders and pushes me away. She pushes me forcefully to the side. My body flies for a few meters then lands on the ground. I land on my back. I shake my confused head and look up. At that instant, I hear steel hitting steel. What? Saber is there, fully armored, and numerous swords lie on the floor where I was standing before Saber tackled me. Damn, I missed. He says in a bored voice, facing Saber. Saber, who can barely keep her body standing, glares at Archer. You. I don't even need to ask why she's glaring at him. He shot those swords from behind to kill me. Saber saw that and instantly pushed me away. Tosca watches him in astonishment, and Saber readies her sword while breathing heavily. Their situations are different, but they both have wonder in their eyes. Why is Archer trying to kill Yamashiro when Castor's dead already? The only calm ones are Archer and I. It's not that surprising. We hated each other from the start. We opposed each other, unable to get along. I don't know why, but I just cannot approve of him. The reason behind it, if that is really the reason for us not being able to approve of each other, it's natural for him to want to kill me. I get up. Saber must have been desperate. She tackled me without holding back, so I can't breathe properly. That just makes me more determined. This is all she can manage when she tackled me with all her might. She doesn't have enough power left in her to even fight me. It's suicidal for her to confront Archer in such a state. Archer, what are you doing? Tosca draws near Archer. It's natural. Archer switched to Castor's side to attack her by surprise. Now that it succeeded, there's no reason for him to attack me. The acting's over, right? We beat Castor, so I won't let you do anything selfish now. Let me? I do not get it. Why do I have to ask for your permission? You're not my master or anything. Archer? Our contract has ended. I'm free now. Do you think I will subject myself to human control? After staring at the night in astonishment, Tosca gasps in sudden realization. No way. Archer. I will act to achieve my objective. But it is troublesome to have you around. Tosca jumps back. She gets away from Archer and tries to run towards me, who is still on my knees, and... Her movement is stopped cold. A swarm of swords about 2 meters high. They pierce the ground, drawing a circle and become a circular prison. It's a circle big enough for one person to fit in, and Tosca is trapped inside. I will not let you interfere after I've come this far. Our contract is ended, so the binding of the command spell does not exist anymore. That is the only reason I sided with Castor. I needed to break the contract to nullify that command spell. Turning his back to the imprisoned Tosca, Archer starts to walk. Not towards Saber, but towards me, still on my knees. I thought so. But why, Archer? Do you still want to kill Shiro? Yes. I will kill Miyashiro with my own hands. This is the only wish I have after being reduced to a guardian. What? Power returns to Saber's body. She musters her strength and moves between Archer and me. Archer, do not tell me you are... Yes. You asked me once, right? Whether I had pride as a hero or not. Of course not. I cannot have such a thing. Only regret fills my mind. Saber, I shouldn't have become a hero. The aggression fades from Saber. What did she figure out? Her enmity towards Archer is gone. That's it. Step back, King of Knights. You'll disappear right away if you act recklessly when you don't have a master. Miyashiro does not have his rights as a master. Your wish cannot be granted even if you support him. I cannot do that. Even if he's not a master, our contract will not go away. I've sworn to protect him and to be his sword. He knew nothing about the Holy Grail War, but he responded to my oath. I cannot betray his trust. She readies her invisible sword, but I do not see the usual valor or strength in her stance. I see. Then you can die here along with the fake master. Twin swords appear in Archer's hands. Saber can't even take those swords right now. You idiot! Run, Saber! I get up and reach for Saber. Did she do it to get away from my reach? Ha! Saber pulls herself together, kicks the ground, and charges at Archer. The battle ends after a few blows. Saber, the one who overwhelmed Archer before, falls to her knees, unable to stand for even a few seconds. The sword isn't even in Saber's hands now. After resisting Castor's command spell for so long, she has no magical energy left. Time to replenish it! Unable to even breathe, she puts her hands on the floor, desperately trying to hold her disappearing body together. Archer raises his swords. The twin swords are swung down onto Saber, and... I jump in from the side and stop them using all my might. I ready my twin swords. I hold the instantly projected weapons and glare at the knight in red. I thought you would stay quiet for a bit longer, but I guess how you cannot bear having a woman killed in front of you. Shut up. I'm the one you want to kill. Fight the right opponent. I confront him. We both have twin swords in our hands. Our physiques are different, but our stances are the same in every regard. It is real if the imitation goes this far, but can your body withstand that magic? A sneering voice. My limit is near, as he says. My headache does not stop, and my magic circuit has its limiter full from all the projection magic. My brain will explode before I get slashed if I fight him while retaining the image of the twin swords. I warned you before. I told you that you cannot use projection. A magic beyond your powers will destroy your body. You are now paying the price for the magic that has kept you alive, Miyashiro. Archer charges in. Shut up, damn it! To that, I frantically move my swords as if slashing my headache away. I swing my arms. My techniques are all a copy of my enemy's. My weapon is copied and my technique is copied. Therefore, I cannot match him. I couldn't match him even if I were in top condition. An imitation can get close to the original, but never surpass it. I could not match this man from the start. The man told me to drown in my ideals and die. The man said that my life is a false life. I could not object to those words because he was my ideal. A power to make the impossible possible. An existence that saved many people and became a heroic spirit. It was I who wanted to become such a person. That's why I can't match him. The man in front of me is the end of that road. He is my ideal, becoming strong to save people, so... My swords shatter. I was able to block his attacks, but my twin swords disappear. I can't stay conscious. My body isn't hurt, but my insides are bleeding and about to give out. Do you understand now? That is the limit of Imyashiro. It is an appropriate end for a guy who kept pushing himself, right? He raises his sword. As I try to figure out with my dazed mind if the sword will come down from the right or the left. I announce, thy body shall be under my command. My fate shall be determined by thy sword. Follow the call of the Holy Grail, if thou wouldst obey this mind and this reason. Tosuke's gallant voice echoes through the temple. That must have caught his attention. The sword slows down a bit. If that's the case... I can dodge it even with a body like this. I roll on the floor and get away. Damn. Archer clenches his teeth, but looks at Saber instead of pursuing me. Obey me! Then I shall entrust my fate to your sword! Tosuke reaches out towards Saber from within the prison of swords. Saber runs to her, using her last power, and... I will accept your oath under the name of Saber. I shall accept you as my master, Rin. A contract that should have originally been made. Saber finally obtains a master that is appropriate for her. Violent wind rages. She must have gotten back her true powers by obtaining a true master. Saber is unlike anything she was before. What? I'm not the only one that gasped. Even Archer is fascinated. Rising swirls of magical energy and armor that can never be damaged. There seems to be no end to this overwhelming power. This is Saber, the heroic spirit of the sword said to be the strongest servant. Damn, I was going to let her make a contract with Rin, but the order is getting mixed up. Archer murmurs while looking at Saber. He must not have enough to spare to pay attention to me now. So, what will you do now, Saber? Since you have made a contract with Rin, you truly have no connection with Imyashiro now. I believe I told you, Archer. My oath with Shiro will never go away. Saber is firm. Archer clucks his tongue and grips his twin swords again. Rather, what are you going to be doing now, Archer? I will stop you with all my might if you try to kill Shiro. Now will be the time to rethink. You do not think you have a chance to win against me now, right? Saber's warning is true. Saber would not lose even to Berserker now. No matter who he may be, Archer cannot match Saber. He should know that more than anyone, but... How can you be so confident when all you got back is some magical energy? Archer charges. Their weapons clash. Archer charges in at Saber like a red bullet and attacks her with all his might. Saber receives the blow like nothing. Neither the size difference nor Archer's momentum matter. Saber repels Archer's swords without flinching. Archer, the one who attacked, is the one who retreats. The attack made with all his strength, a blow that should not need to be repeated, is... Not only is blocked, but his body loses balance as well. Archer steps back. There. Saber's sword attacks him like surging waves of raging fire. Archer can only defend against her attacks. Saber's sword will kill him if he tries to counter. No, first of all, he does not have anything to spare for a counterattack. The only resistance Archer is allowed is to block Saber's attacks until he runs out of energy. And that should not take long. The magical energy in Saber's sword scrapes away Kancho and Bakuyo with each attack. The twin swords cannot take anymore, and Archer's arms should be powerless by now. The match is settled rather quickly. Archer falls to one knee, unable to stand against Saber's assault. Saber swings down her sword as if to finish him off. Archer blocks it by crossing his twin swords in front of him. The battle is at an end. Even though he blocked Saber's blow, Archer cannot move. Saber's sword will split his head in two if he loosens his power on the twin swords. Archer puts power into his arms to stop Saber's blow. Sweat forms on his forehead and he's breathing hard. In contrast, Saber's breathing is normal. It's impossible for Archer to beat Saber in hand-to-hand combat. This is it, Archer. It might have been different if you were in perfect condition, but you cannot fight with your depleted strength. You were worried about me earlier, but that goes the same for you. You should have no magical energy left since you used that many noble phantasms to defeat Castor. Furthermore, you do not have a master to keep you in this world. What can you do when you have no supply of magical energy? That is a needless worry, Saber. Servant Archer has the ability to remain even after the master is gone. I should be able to stay in this world for 2 days even without a master. That is enough time for me to kill that kid. Ridiculous. Are you still talking about such a thing? Are you saying your wish is not the Holy Grail but to kill Shiro? Archer doesn't answer. His cold eyes stare at the troubled Saber. How can it be? Archer, your wish is a mistake. Why? Why do you wish for such an end? Even if you do so, you will not be saved. Saber bites her lip and stops herself from saying so. Huh. I'm mistaken, huh? The muscles on Archer's arms bulge. He looks at Saber once. That is my alliance, Saber. How long are you going to hold on to that foolish wish of yours? He says so with eyes staring far away. Archer. Saber's sword loosens up. Using that opening, Archer gets up and kicks Saber with his freed leg. Even though she's knocked back, Saber lands gracefully. The situation hasn't changed at all. Saber is protecting me and facing Archer, who has Tosca trapped within a cage of swords behind him. The distance between them is 5 meters again. I knew it, but I cannot match you in sword techniques, huh? The twin swords disappear and he confronts Saber unarmed. Archer, does that mean you will give up now? Of course not. You're misunderstanding me. I'm Archer. I'm not someone who fights using a sword to begin with. With those words. Oh, shit's getting real. He begins the spell in a voice I can't hear. In a language I can't understand. Stop! Archer! I do not... Saber. Someone will eventually appear to release you. It does not seem like it is this time. And I will probably have a connection with you again next time. Unlimited braid wax! His spell echoes through the temple. There's no change. A long spell like that should affect the surroundings. Magic influences the world, but his spell does not affect the world, but instead. But that is still far off. Right now, my objective is to kill Miyashiro. If you are going to try to stop me, I will not hold back against you even in this world. He raises his left arm. Does that complete his spell? Aw, shit! You're all dead. You're all gonna die. The end. He clearly speaks out and changes the world. Fire runs. It runs across the floor and looks like a white line. Is the surrounding fire a boundary line? The color of fire fills my vision and paints the temple. After that, my surroundings are replaced by this strange world. Pain fills my brain. I can tell. I understand what this magic is, what this absurdity is. I shouldn't be able to understand, but I can tell what this is whether I want to or not. And that makes my brain boil. In short, this is a steel manufacturing factory. Burning fire and turning cogwheels. A field of swords without owners extends to the horizon of the desert. All the swords in the ground are famous. Kansho and Bakuya originally came from this world. An almost infinite projection of weapons. Innumerable weapons make this place seem like a waste yard. The night in red reigns at the center of the kingdom of rubble. This is... The confused voice is Saber's. Inside the illusionary fire that is not even hot, she watches the night in blank amazement. Reality marble. A great forbidden magic that puts form to the user's mind and violates reality. So you're not a swordsman nor an archer, but...
剣士でもなく
Yes, I was a magus before I became a heroic spirit.
Tosca sounds disinterested. Could it be? Did she already know Archer's true identity?
ではアーチャー
Then Archer, your noble
あなた
phantasm
の
is...
宝具は
I have no such thing. I did not wield any holy swords nor demonic swords. The only thing I have is this world.
If a noble phantasm is the symbol of a heroic spirit, this reality marble is my noble phantasm. I can reproduce and store any weapon that I see the original of. This is my ability as a heroic spirit. Saber gasps. She looks with blank amazement at the extending graveyard of swords in the desert. The ashen sky and the steel wasteland, devoid of all life.
これが
This is
あなたの世
your
界だという
world,
のか
Archer?
Yes, I do not mind if you would like to test it out.
I shall reproduce that holy sword of yours.
私の聖剣
My holy sword? Are you saying that, knowing its true identity, Archer? Of course. A weapon of such rank cannot be perfectly reproduced, but I can get close. What will happen in that case? Will the people around us survive when the two holy swords clash? What? Archer, you!
あな
Yes.
Do not use your holy sword, Saber. I will oppose you if you do. In that case, the ones to disappear would not be us, but the people around us. Knowing you, you would protect that kid at the cost of your life. Even I will die if I project the holy sword. In that case, only Imiyashiro would survive. That would be pointless. Archer raises his left arm. The swords behind him float up one by one. Do not oppose it. You should not die instantly if you are lucky. You can have your master heal you after it's all over. Archer points to Saber. The numerous swords point towards Saber. All of these weapons are sure to kill. You can dodge them, but in that case, give up on the kid behind you. And he gives the command. The numerous swords are shot. Saber does not move. She confronts them, intending to deflect all the weapons using her sword, even prepared for her own death. Trace. On. I can't think because of my headache. My magic circuit can only handle one more projection. My insides are burned up and almost melted, but such concerns vanished when I saw this world. Before I realize it, I've jumped up, run to Saber, and I'm glaring at the annoying swords.
シロダメだ
Shiro, no! Quickly! I don't care. For now, the oncoming 18 swords, analysis of all of them cannot be completed with my eyes alone, so my senses run wild and go past the fastest speed and go faster and faster. They approach. Something like a cocking hammer goes down on my head. Don't. I stick out my left arm. I have no doubts. I've copied him so many times. If there's nothing wrong with the theory. Be ridiculous, damn it! There's no way I can reproduce the rain of swords in front of me. Broken pieces fly around. When I open my eyes, his reality marble has disappeared. The only things there are broken pieces of swords and... a hellish nausea as if my organs have come up to my throat. After glaring at me in disgust, "Hey, Archer, you!" He takes out Tosca from the cage of swords and restrains her. Tosca struggles to get away from Archer. Huh? What did he do? Archer places his hand on Tosca's neck and renders her unconscious. And he leaves the temple. With Tosca in his arms, Archer jumps to the stairs leading up.
どこに行く気です
Where are you going, Archer?
To a place where there won't be any intrusions.
I am out of magic energy as well. I do not have enough power to defeat both of you.
リンを連れて行く
So you're pushing out pretty
人
much.
質ですか
Are you taking Ren as a hostage? No. She is an exchange. As long as I have her, that kid has to come after me. But more importantly, Ren is your master now. Even if you want to protect that kid, you should not be able to put his life over your master's. I bear my nausea. I strain my fainting mind and listen to what he has to say.
The outskirts.
And I say so with a shaking throat, not even able to look up.
What? I said, the forest in the outskirts of town. There's an empty castle there. We won't cause trouble for anyone there.
Shiro,
You want to complain to me, right? Fine. I'll listen. I also have complaints against you.
my vision flickers. Even as I speak, I feel sick, as if in another dimension. The forest outside the city. I see. The Einsburn Castle is there. There certainly should be no interruptions there. That's a good determination, Imiyashiro.
Shut up. But
I don't want to hear meaningless things. If I do hear them, I won't be able to hold this nausea, and I might vomit out my organs.
do something to Tosuke before then, and I'll kill you with Saber for sure.
I make this oath. I violently scratch my forehead, tearing off the skin in an attempt to silence my headache.
Alright, I shall guarantee a day of her safety and deference to the specification of the place.
But hurry, I don't have time. As I have no master, my body should not last 2 more days. I might kill my hostage out of anger if I cannot kill you in that time. Leaving an annoying laugh, Archer disappears. I slump to the floor, unable to keep my eyes on him. Shiro, it is too early for you to use the same projection as Archer. An arm comes and supports me as I start to fall.
I'm sorry, Saber. He got Tosuke.
I suppress my headache and manage to get up. Shiro, that is fine. Rin is safe. Archer should not do anything to Rin. You are in more of a danger right now. You should leave Rin to me and rest at your place.
No, I don't have such time.
I try to finish, but I start to faint.
Damn, I can't even complain, huh?
I will listen to you later. I will take you to your house for now. That's fine, right?
Hey, wait!
I don't even get to object. Saber supports me and starts to walk to the stairs.